What's up, people?
And this is our first episode of MYJB's podcast presents Girl Code. Woo! We're working on our soundboard. We'll have that together as we go along. Don't worry about it. So we have gathered here today with our host, Lex Akira
and your girl Courtney E. What is up, ladies
and gentlemen and the days? So
I'm not trying to sneak in. No.
I figured we have like a little bit of a different type of atmosphere. I know we talk about commentary and other funny stuff that happens on social media, but I figured we have a platform for ourselves to talk about, the things that we go through as women.
Yes, so today we are super excited to present to you a topic that is very, very dear to our hearts. We are going to talk about motherhood.
And stepmotherhood.
Yay! Yes, y'all can give y'all virtual claps in the background for us. Yes, but as you guys may or may not know, I am, of course, a mom of a 9-year-old boy, and Lex is a stepmother to
an 8-year-old.
8-year-old. Okay, so our kids are about the same
age.
About the same age. So we wanted to do this topic first so that we can peek into your brains and then also have you guys peek into ours, because we know a lot of our listeners and a lot of women just in general are moms.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like with these platforms, they do not talk about the real what it is for motherhood. Number one, motherhood is more ghetto than the hood where we at.
What?
No one told me that. No one told me this.
What?
Like, being a stepmother, for going on almost 3 years at this moment, it is an experience. I know you guys have been in this, for 9 years, but when you just jump into it, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody told me all of this. Ain't nobody told me we have to buy things at a certain time. We got to enter things at a certain time. I'm like, what is going on?
Yes, you got to be aware, of them giving you flyers late, last minute, and picture day is tomorrow. Like, you're like, what? I got to get you a haircut and all types of stuff.
We got to get an outfit.
Right.
We got to find something in the drawer. Nobody told me these things. And I feel like media, I don't want to say glorified, but like, only show the good sides of motherhood, which is a very rewarding job, I may add. But it is a job that is full-time for free. Ain't nobody told us that.
100% on the free part. 100%, because kids are expensive.
They your broke best friend for real.
Yep, your broke best friend. Yes, I see the videos y'all be putting out there on your broke best friend. Yes.
And it's for real. I'm like, yo, you really cool. And we can hang out, but I gotta buy you stuff.
Right. Like, I have to foot the bill all the time. Like, you're never gonna, until you get a certain age, it's me. Like,
and even if they get to a certain age, they still gonna look at you like, because I definitely, you got that. You got that, right? Yeah, I know.
I definitely used to go out with my dad, like, listen,
got that.
I'd be like, Mommy, you buying me something, right? Okay. I just don't forget about me, okay? Like.
So to dive in on this particular topic, we're just going to focus on Courtney for a little bit to see what are the greatnesses of motherhood and a little bit of the challenges. How is it balancing work, your personal life with motherhood?
First of all, when I got pregnant, everyone was asking me, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you prepared? What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, listen, I'm as ready as I'm going to be. Because I wholeheartedly believe that, there is no preparation. Like, there's but so much preparing you can do to be a mom. Yeah, you're pregnant. You get the diapers. You get the crib and X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But you have no idea what is going to come with that child. Me in particular, I've mentioned before, my son was a severe preemie. I had him at 24 weeks, which is 3 months early. So I had him at exactly 6 months. He was very small, 1 pound when I had him. And as much as people asked me, are you prepared? Are you prepared? I was not prepared for that. I was totally not prepared for that. And he was in and out of the hospital for the first 5 or 6 years of his life. So even I would encourage mothers to just know, like,
Yeah.
it's never going to go exactly the way you plan it. Like, that's the first thing. Never think that motherhood is going to go the way you planned it. It's never, and I say parenthood is God's biggest classroom, right? So you have to be willing to learn yourself, your flaws, the things that you are good at, the things that you need to work on for the sake of the child, right? For the sake of not putting on your mess to that child, right?
Yeah.
And that comes even after.
That comes with emotional intelligence too. Like,
yes.
You grow with that child. Like, you really grow.
Especially if you're young. You grow. Like, kids teach you things. Like,
I was taught a lot.
Kids, and they have no filter. They are in your face, ugly and bold. And I try not to be offended by the things that my son has said in the past.
Because he don't mean it.
No, they absolutely mean it.
Oh.
They just don't understand
the magnitude
of what is being said. So my son will say something and I'm like regular kids, like, oh, I hate it here, or mommy, how come you always do this? And then it'll be like, to me, I'm the type of mom where it's like, okay.
When
you're asking me.
When they try to check you.
Right. It's not that I feel checked. It is something that I'm doing is bothering you because you're asking me. So it's depending on what I'm doing, because I tell my son, I talk to my son. Like, I tell him, like, listen, you're not going to like everything mommy do. Since he was 4, like, you're not going to like everything that mommy does. Okay?
And that's okay.
And that is okay, but I am working hard to take care of you. And I say everything that I'm doing is because I love you. I want to protect you. And I just want to teach you things that you're going to need in this life when mommy's not here. Like, when mommy's not around.
Exactly.
So if you want to talk about, like, just navigating that, my story is just a tiny bit different because I did have, he was sick and there was health things going on with him. But even just in general, like, balancing, like, deciding when I can go back to work. When I went back to work, he was still in the hospital. So trying to balance going to the hospital before I had to go to work and with no car in the beginning, y'all. That was a lot. So, like,
buses, trains, Uber,
everything, like cabs, all of that stuff, but making sure that I was, like, there every day. Yeah. And then, like, him coming home, he couldn't hear for, like, the first month when I got home. I was living life. I could put him down, I could walk out the room, not have to creep. And then I'll never forget it. The day he could hear, because I put him down and, like, I couldn't move. Like, and I was like, oh, you can hear, little dude? Like, you can hear now. Oh, okay. Like, I can't do nothing now. I was like,
they pick everything up.
Experiencing that, like, oh, I gotta creep out of the room. I gotta make sure that I leave the door cracked beyond the squeak part, so that when I go to close it.
This is why I go to my car, people. Whenever my stepson is in my custody, I go to my car. I don't I can't risk it. I can't risk it with y'all.
Well, I'm talking about, like, when you're putting them down and you're leaving out of the room. Like, if the door's wide open and it got a squeak at a certain point, you want to keep the door closed. These are tips, y'all.
That is true, because he'll be quick to say, where you going?
Like, yeah.
I'm like, well, to the next room. I want to lay down too.
Yes.
I want to lay down. We already watched 2 movies. I'm tired.
Yes. And then all in all, like, my son does have his dad in his life. His dad has a partner who he's been with since before my son was born. So, Dad and I broke up on okay terms. It wasn't too crazy. Like, it was crazy. We were amicable, and then 2-3 weeks later I found out I was pregnant. So it was just kind of like, it happened. It was just like, but I've also known him my entire life. Yeah. So it made things a little easier for us to, like, come together and be there for my son. But also I have the dynamic of dealing with his stepmother, who just had my son's first sibling.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. So I definitely, since my son was born, have dealt with his stepmother. It has not always been great.
I mean, at least you're real about that, you know?
Not always.
But not everybody is going to get along all the time. And
right.
And that's okay as long as it doesn't turn volatile.
Right. As long as you're able to bring it back in. And I think that's what works for the trio of parenthood that I have. We all put the kids first. And it displays in our actions. Like, yeah, we get a little hasty sometimes. You know, sometimes I'll be telling daddy off. Like that. Come on. Like, you gotta, you can't drop the ball here like this again. Like, you know what I mean? And that's fine. And I think a lot of women who are co-parenting, right? Yeah. They deal with that emotional struggle of seeing a man be with someone that's not you. Seeing a man give affection or for their timeline, the timeline with that other woman go the way that you wanted it to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's for a lot of women that is hard to see. And I think that's what comes with like
emotional growth
as
time goes on.
Right, and it's hard, and I think, they hear, the crazy baby mama, and things like that, and I think us women...
And then sometimes I'd be like, what did the baby daddy do to make y'all crazy?
Make y'all crazy.
And I'm that person that's like, listen, I'm open to hear both sides, because, listen,
right.
There's a his or
some
hers,
of y'all women
and
crazy.
then the God's truth.
Some of y'all women be crazy, too. I'm just saying, I just think as women, we have to be... mindful of and like you said, emotional growth, right? Because all of us we're emotional creatures, right? Yeah. So all of us have had moments where we've gone off the hinges, we done cussed somebody out, we done, just emotional and irrational, right? All of us have had those moments, especially if you're co-parenting. I myself, me and my whole Christian self have cussed somebody out once or twice, okay? So don't think that I'm bougie and that,
and y'all be hearing me on this
now
podcast,
y'all go repent about that now. But anyway, that was a side note. But like, but I'm not that bougie to where I'm not human and recognize that. But understanding that when you have children involved, it's not about how you feel in that moment. It's about what is beneficial to the child. You absolutely do not matter.
So you would say that's a part of the mental and physical health impacts of being a mother. Yes. It's really emotional. And sometimes you have to check your own emotions at the door.
Yes, in order to be that mom that you aspire to be. Sometimes it sucks. It's unfortunate sometimes, but sometimes in order to be that mom, you have to put yourself on the back burner. It's a sacrifice and a responsibility too.
I mean, well, yeah. Well, how do you feel like motherhood has affected your friendships, your relationships, even your own personal identity as Courtney? How has that evolved you as a person?
That is hilarious.
No,
okay, so story time, y'all. Story time.
And there's always a story time attached to my question.
Okay, story time. So, I grew up with everyone. I grew up as a tomboy, okay? I'm not super girly. Obviously, right? I'm not super girly. Even the long earring and jewelry and stuff that y'all see now, that's very new for me. Okay?
Because that's called growth.
Growth. Very much growth, right? So I grew up as a tomboy, but my entire life I have always been accused of being gay, being homosexual. And I don't, I've gone through phases.
People were shocked when you showed up to prom in a dress.
My high school graduating class, wholeheartedly everyone thought I was showing up to prom in a suit.
Pink suit at that.
Mind you, I had a boyfriend for at least 2 years at the time.
They did not care.
They didn't care. They wholeheartedly.
They're we know that's a cover.
Right. Wholeheartedly thought I was going to prom in a suit. So these are the type of things that I was dealing with. So when I became a mother, I dealt with a lot of, oh my God, you had a baby? What? with a man?
Courtney?
Like, yeah.
Nah.
Like, with a man, like you did the
A
dude.
man?
Like you ain't no artificial. Like you had sex with a man. I'm like, yes.
And you enjoyed it? What?
Yes.
They
Like,
were hilarious.
yes, like people just could not fathom. Like I mean, chicks who wholeheartedly believed I was gay were like, you're in denial, and it don't matter if you had a baby because gay chicks have babies.
Oh,
and,
Lordy.
oh my God, like I went through a lot. So like,
But that's basically someone else telling you who you
who
are as a
I am.
person.
And for me, it was a little difficult because I've never, and this is not a shot, like I know I'm Christian, I'm not coming at homosexuals, like, but I've never been attracted to women. Like I've always been attracted to men, right? So, but dressing the way that I was dressing and not being the female that was like all the other females I was surrounded by growing up who were like in boys' faces and blah, blah, blah. I was worried about playing basketball, y'all. Like, ask Lex. I ain't care about nothing but playing sports and getting good grades. Like, that's all I care about, okay?
And that's why everybody was shocked. What?
Right, exactly. So becoming,
You kissed a man?
right. Like, I kissed a man, let alone had sex with him.
I know. I was shocked. What?
Like, you have a child. Like, what? Like, even to this day, like, I run into the old classmates and they're like, what? You had a baby? Like, or they're like, I ran into so-and-so and they told me you had a baby.
Like
I couldn't believe
like you
it.
lying.
Like, all my friends have stories about how they wholeheartedly thought I was gay when we first met until they got to know me and they're like, oh, like, that's the first thing from my mind. So anyway,
well, I guess motherhood, in a way, solidified part of your identity.
yes, that's what I was
people
leading
thought
into.
That you were gay, and it's just like,
Yes.
how?
So that's exactly what I was leading into. So becoming a mom played a part in solidifying like I am a woman. Mm-hmm. And you know, when you got a bunch of people trying to tell you something that you're not, of course you're gonna check. Right? Like, and I ain't saying I went out there and lick twat and you know what I mean? I ain't saying I did all that. But what I'm saying is that you're gonna check to see if you're attracted to women, if that's something that you're attracted to.
So you kissed a girl and you didn't like it.
No, a girl kissed me and I was disgusted.
Oh,
but, like, and
I was trying to repeat the Katy Perry song.
Anyway, like I'm just saying, like a girl kissed me and I totally, and this is before I got saved, guys, so it has nothing to do with religion. Like, okay, because I know a lot of people dismiss me saying that I'm straight because they're like, oh, you're a Christian, that's why you have to say that, even if you were, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but so becoming a mom definitely solidified, like it kind of hushed a lot of the voices about my sexuality. But then once I got past that, I dived all the way into motherhood. I mean, I honestly had no choice. I had to take care of my baby, and it was hard. It was a lot. He had to be on medication and in and out of the doctor's office. He had to have a surgery, like in the latter part of you know him getting better. He had to like that surgery. I think did it, and we were good. We've been good ever since. Praise Jesus.
Yes.
But like it was a lot dealing with that. So like growing up, like I'm out partying, or I was coming off of when I had my son. I was coming off of a tragic like breakup. You know, from my ex-fiance. It was like 2 years later, and I was not thinking about like, you know, dating or becoming a mom or anything. I was out in these streets, y'all. Like, I was out
taking
in these streets.
revenge out.
I was going through my emotions. Like, definitely went through
your Drake era.
I did. I went through Drake era. I can't. Yes, I was going.
Hurt that man's feelings, and he just been the way he is. Okay.
Yes, I'm just.
That's
saying.
why I call it the Drake era. Whoever or the future era. After
Lord,
Sierra.
please! I don't want a future era. Okay.
I don't think no man should go through no future era.
I'll take Drake. I'll take him. But yeah, I was out there in the streets. I wholeheartedly stepped away from the church, everything during that time.
Yeah, because you felt lost.
Yeah, like it was a lot going on. That's for another girl chat, y'all.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that another time. But I so becoming a mom or like seriously being with someone was not the thing, like, on my mind. But I ran into my childhood sweetheart, known him since I was 6, and it was just kind of like easy. Yeah, it was just like easy to kind of just like, oh, okay. But had it not been him, I probably would still be like, I probably still wouldn't have David. So, but I say all that to say that motherhood, like, definitely made me grow up. It made his dad grow up, because he saw a lot of the things, like, he even went through his own testimony of stuff. So I had to even grow up when he went through his tragic stuff and be there for him. So, like, because we're friends, so
friends first before anything.
Exactly. Like, we grew up together. So my mother, like, in the beginning, motherhood was a huge challenge for me. Now I'm like, I got this. Now, not cockily, not like cocky, but I'm like, I can handle whatever.
Without falling on my face.
Yes, without feeling like I'm going to crumble or like I'm losing. Like, don't get me wrong, you always going to have them moments where you just need a good cry. Like the kids.
It's okay to cry too. I close the bathroom door and turn on the shower.
Listen, play that worship music and go. Listen. But yeah, and then there's also like those challenges of dealing with my son's stepmom, which is your area, So Lex, tell me, what is it like being a stepmom, and what is it like trying to co-parent with dad and biological mom? Spanking.
Solo. I can hear your stuff in the back. It's picking up on the microphone. Yeah.
Oh my God, spanking.
But yeah, I was just like, wait, hold on. Is it me? I said, hold on.
Headphones on. Headphones, okay?
Oh, come on.
This guy.
I didn't think it was that loud.
And it was.
That was funny.
Oh my God.
He done messed up the intro. So Lex. I don't even remember what I said. Oh my God.
No, you were basically asking, like, what are the unique challenges of like the benefits and like drawbacks per se of being a stepmom with two active parents. So like, I met my partner about almost 3 years ago, and I was introduced to his son, I want to say 4 to 5 months within the relationship, because we were taking ourselves really seriously and he wanted to move in a direction to where it's like a serious relationship. And of course that means seeing if me and his child, vibe or not. Because if his child doesn't like me, he has every right to kick me to the curb. And I have no choice but to eat that.
Right.
Because if that child don't like me, it's going to be a back and forth all these years. And like, listen, I refuse to be the evil stepmom. I refuse. I've seen too many movies. Not doing that.
Right.
No.
Same Cinderella.
The old one and the new one with Hilary Duff. We're not doing that.
But we're black. There's only one Cinderella, okay?
But who was the evil stepmother for Brandy?
Wasn't it
who was it?
Moesha's mother in Moesha? What's her name? Cheryl Lee Riley? Or whatever.
Yes.
I can't. I'm sorry for slaughtering your beautiful name. Moesha mama.
Yes.
D from Moesha. Yes. Okay, Moesha mama.
Yes.
All the black folk know. Go watch Moesha.
And she has. We should know her name by heart. I'm sorry, y'all.
Don't quote me on that, because we know Whitney was the godmother, but I believe.
That's why I was like, I'm not gonna say
something.
Whitney.
Whitney was the godmama. We know that.
But overall, I would say the challenges would be just making sure that the biological parents are in like a okay place and they're communicating effectively. And sometimes in both parties, they don't communicate effectively, and then, quarrels may or may not happen, but we are in a better place. So it's all in a day-by-day process, making sure that the child bonds with you, making sure the child, especially if it's the opposite sex, make sure there's boundaries set in place as well, like especially if, let's say, my partner is like at work and he needs help with like changing his clothes for the evening or anything like that. Obviously, I'll give him his clothes, give him the space to change his clothes in a separate room. Things like that. Just so him as a boy growing into a young man knows the boundaries set in place for a woman, regardless if they're his age or his mother's age. Anybody, you need to have those types of boundaries. Boundaries. Those are the lessons for the day. Yes. Also, just trying to parent without stepping on anybody's toes can be a challenge per se, because I would say maybe my parenting style might be different from his father's or his biological mother. And I wouldn't say it was a quarrel within that, because I don't step on anybody's toes, but just making sure I am an active part in his life where I can be. He already has a mother, a well-to-do mother at that. Mm-hmm. But I'm just here to fill in the gaps more or less of like whether a parent is lacking in whatever area, I can help them with another. Like, let's say homework time, like, you know, my partner is great at math, great at all, you know, technical terms. But if it comes to like reading and stuff, I'll, you know, take over the reins a little bit. Like, I'll take the time to make sure he knows his words and things like that and how to pronounce them. So things like that. It's like a give and a take, because it's a partnership at the end of the day. They have their partnership over there at their household, and we have ours. So just adjusting to different parenting styles. I would say that's like the biggest one, is adjusting to that. I can't say anybody's parenting style is wrong unless the child is in actual physical or mental danger. Yeah. So I can't say anybody's right or wrong. I can just agree to disagree. But, you know, it's all in like the struggles within it all. And also, I don't get the whole notion of like the evil stepmom. Maybe it's because, fun fact, my mom is a stepmom. To my older brother.
That's right, you said that.
Yeah, so like there's 4 of us all together, and my brother is, of course, like the first child in my parents' relationship prior to. And I grew up seeing the ups and the downs of a blended family. Co-parenting. And it's not for the faint of heart. I'm letting you know that right now. Mm-hmm. So especially if it's a woman that has no kids coming into a situation like that, mm-hmm. I will tell that person, like, if you really love this person, you have to love that child the same amount, if not more. Because I told my partner, even if we broke up,
that's still my baby.
That's still my firstborn son.
Right.
Even if I didn't birth him, I'm still going to come to every birthday and graduation. I'm not here for you.
Right.
Here for him. And I said that. Because at the end of the day, like, there's a child involved. And that child has nothing to do with our quarrels and our fights, because he didn't ask to be here. He didn't ask to be in this situation. And he didn't ask for his biological parents to break up. But those things happen. And that's okay. But how you bounce back and how you raise your children after that, that's what matters. As long as you don't raise them in trauma, he'll be okay.
Right. You know.
So I would say, like, strategies on blending families.
Would you say it takes patience?
A lot of patience. Actually, I taught my son, my stepson, the word patience. We're working on spelling, though. But Amen. He knows the word and the meaning. Because sometimes, you know, that age where they want it now. Always. And when he keep asking, I'm like, Jordan,
patience.
Like, excuse me, sir, what is the P word that we talk about? Patience. Yeah. Right. Okay. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to wait. We need to wait. Great. Okay. I'm glad we had the understanding. That's why when it comes to corporate punishment, I leave it to the biological. But when it comes to something that I know I can handle, my partner lets me handle it off of the strength of him as a growing boy, growing into a great young man. He's going to have to respect me. And in order for me to do that, I had to lay down some type of like boundary and response without him knowing that, without him feeling like I'm about to like give him like a spanking or anything like that. Right. There's a way to, you know, disrupt that. I'm like, you know, we're not going to do that. Especially if I catch him being disrespectful to his mother. Right. His mother, it's me and you. I'm like, I have to have a conversation, because he was being disrespectful to his mother, and his phone was taken away, and of course, like, he has an attitude.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's have a talk. All right. Why did you say the things that you need to say to your mom like that? Oh, because he made me mad. Okay, cool. It's okay to be upset. But it's all in how you respond to that. Would you want somebody from your class to disrespect me like that?
Right.
He was like, no, I'll be upset. I'm like, okay, cool. Isn't she upset? Because
Right.
I'm upset that you did that. Because now I feel like if you disrespect her, I feel like you
feel
disrespected
like you
me.
Do it for me, and I'm so happy
I'm not
said
the
that.
one.
So happy you said that because I promote co-parenting.
Yeah, because it's a teamwork. It's
It is
a
a teamwork, and some kids don't have one parent, don't have any parents, let alone three. Mm-hmm. Like it is and I tell when we have our little group meetings, the parents. When we have our little phone calls or conference calls and we talk, I'm like, he has the privilege of having 3 parents who love and care about him.
I like the concept of a conference call. Not everybody
has
periodically the bandwidth to do that. Even a quarterly. It's better than
it's periodically.
Radio silence.
I mean, sometimes it is hard to get them together because I know he's not always confrontational, but he will take the time to talk about whatever,
state his point.
Yeah, state his point or whatever. But sometimes it's hard to get her to come, and I was like, and I come at him a little bit. I'll be like, come on, you gotta get. I don't want to hear excuses. Like she gotta come, and then once she comes and makes the time, we talk.
Everything's fine.
He's not even on the phone no more. We be butting him out because we be talking about things. Because as women. She's stepmom and I'm mom. As women, there are things that we are going to pick up on that the man in the situation is just not going to pick up on. And sometimes it takes, if I say it to him by myself and then she say it to him by herself, he not going to hear it. But if we together...
But if you and dad are quarreling, we out. Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
That's y'all.
No, so my son's stepmom, she definitely said, she's even the first time I really met her, she even said, y'all have y'all beef. I ain't got
nothing to do with me, girl. You ain't got
when I'm telling him out and cussing him and saying whatever, when I used to be going off on him, she is I am staying out of that because at the end of the day, and she's very much
birthed that baby, not me,
right? But she is very much like you, where she is very hesitant about stepping on my toes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel to a fault. Cause I'm
to be doing this, not to step mama.
No, cause sometimes I'm you have to facilitate the bringing of us two together. Because even though it's awkward, it's still a little awkward, even though we know that she can text me, I can text her, and that I know that she loves, and she knows that I respect her, and things like that. It's still a little awkward because at the same time, she also knows how close him and I are. Because even sometimes I have to, that's a part of being co-parenting too, right? There's sometimes, because him and I grew up together and because we are friends, where there's times where it's not me and her talking, it's me and him bantering back and forth about things that she doesn't even know about.
We're just
right. And then so I recognize that.
Do you want me to come back in 10 minutes? I'll come back in 10 minutes if y'all need to talk this
and
out.
It's not intentional. It's just, I think it just happens when you genuinely have affection for a person. And I'm not saying in a romantic or disrespectful way to your partner, but
at one time or another, y'all
had love for each other. And we still love each other. We're not in love with each other, but we love each other.
Because God forbid one of y'all get into the hospital or whatever the case may be, y'all come running.
Listen, and I was, and he was there. He made sure my son was okay. Mm-hmm. So it's never, and he made sure I was okay, making sure yo, we need you. Letting me know, I know it's a lot going on, but don't ever think that I don't need you. We need you.
I think the best explanation when it comes to children, especially if they accidentally walk into a quarrel or anything like that, I think the best way to explain it, at least the way that I explained it, is the way that mommy and daddy fight is kind of the same way of like you and your sibling would fight. You guys care for one another, but you guys are frustrated with one another at the moment. And that doesn't erase the fact that you guys care about each other as siblings.
Right.
Y'all not going to just stop being siblings because y'all just had like an argument. But it's going to be times where you guys are not going to be okay. And that's okay. As long as you guys come back for the sanctity of the child, that's fine.
Right.
And that's the best way to communicate that to a child, for them to understand of like, why is mommy and daddy fighting? Even though I don't agree with
fighting in front of the child,
but sometimes you can't help it when they just walk in, like, you know, like,
listen,
it happens.
And my son's father we fought in front of our son one time in our entire lives, right? And he was probably like 3 or something, and even when we realized, like, oh, he's crying, like, because we were like outside of the car talking, like, and we were like going back and forth at each other, and then we just realized, like, he's crying, like the minute we realized it, immediately snapped us out of whatever the heck we were talking about.
Because that's emotional intelligence,
right? Because it was like, we don't ever, and I mean, I could scream at him, he could scream at me, and 2 minutes later we're in front of him. And like nothing happened, cause nothing did happen with him. Like, he don't need to, cause nothing happened. Okay, he don't need to know any of that. At the end of the day, dad is still gonna do what he needs to do, and mommy is still gonna do what he needs to do. Stepmommy is still gonna
do what she needs to do as. And
my dynamic changing. Like, this is a untreaded water for me, or untreaded territory for me to have the stepmom now have a child come into the mix, because even though that's not my child, that's my son's sibling. And the same way she was there for my child, I would never want my son's sibling to think that I'm not there for her. I want his sibling to be able to come to me and be like, you know, Mommy Courtney, can I, like, you know what I mean? Like, can I come over? Or
because I miss my brother, like,
right?
Things like that. Like, I try my best, because, you know, he has 2 younger siblings. One is a baby, so like there's only so much I could like give besides like baby stuff. But the other brother is a toddler at that age, so I try to give like age appropriate gifts for him, or like little toys that my stepson and his brother could play with each other at the opposite house.
Age,
yeah,
right.
So at that age, just so they can feel like, okay, when he goes back and forth to his dad's house, it's not awkward, and like he comes back with gifts, and he was like, oh wow, like, oh my gosh, like a past birthday, I gave them like a whole bunch of goodie bags for his siblings and for his friends to pass out. Like, it's nothing. Like, at the end of the day, these kids did not ask to be here.
Right.
I asked to be in this position, so I have to step up as a person. Like 3-4 years ago, I had I was single. No kids, buying whatever the heck I wanted, go out whenever the heck I wanted.
Can't do that no more.
Can't do that no more. And that's fine, because I signed up for it.
Right.
I knew about it when he told me he had a child. I already knew in my head, okay, are you willing to take the stance to know how to balance a relationship with your child? Because certain people don't know how to do that.
Right.
And I would say, with my last point before we go to the next segment, I would say with stepmotherhood, the only thing that is like fearful is, like I said before, God forbid, you're in a situation where the relationship demise, and you're left feeling like, dang, I broke. The relationship was broken up with me and this man, and with the child too.
With the child,
because if the partner is petty, you will never see that child again.
Ever.
I dated somebody before who had a child, and to this day, I'm still heartbroken the fact that I can't be in contact with the other child. Like, it's hard because I feel like biological parents don't understand like the emotional aspects of us growing with the child, with them as you're dating them.
Right.
They think that we are emotionally detached from that. And I'm like, that's the opposite.
Right.
I feel super attached to this child. And now, like, you being petty is like, you're not talking to my child no more since you don't want to talk to me. And people are like that.
Facts. Yep.
And that's not cool for the child too.
Now the child, you done ripped this person out of their life, and now this person done looked at you like their mom all their life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or looked at you, you know, as a mother figure all their life, and now they 2 seconds from being a teenager, and they're like, my mom just left and didn't care about me.
And now I feel like I abandoned the child.
Yeah. And it's like, dang, so there are a lot of complicated dynamics.
That's why I told my partner, listen, if you do that, I'm not leaving the child. I don't care what you say. I'll get your baby mama number over to you.
Right.
I don't care. Because I will be sending stuff to him, not to you.
She gonna need this help. She wants some of this help. Okay.
And like I said before, it takes a village. And not everybody's receptive to the village because the village comes with critique.
Things.
It comes with critique. It comes with ramifications. Ego. It comes with getting rid of your ego.
Right.
Because guess what? As a parent, you don't know everything. Just like I don't know everything. This shit new to me.
Right.
I'm gonna take all the advice that I can get because I don't know. I skipped the changing of the diaper phase. I skipped that part. So I got stuff coming to me when I actually entered motherhood. So that's the thing. Well, now that we are broke down the different, well, not the differences, broke down the greatnesses and the ups and downs of motherhood and stepmotherhood, we wanted to talk about the intersections of those two hoods.
They hood
for real.
Yes.
So I want us to talk about like the differences and similarities between the two and see how can we support each other as mother and stepmothers in the world, since we have been talking about the village as of late.
Right.
And the lack thereof.
I would say that the first thing would be being mindful of how the daily life is at each home, right? Mm-hmm. That's a very important thing because you don't want to allow the child to do one thing at your home that they're not allowed to do at another home, depending on what it is. It's easier when you are the parent who has the child majority of the week or time or whatever, because because the child spends most of the time with you. That is the schedule. That is the superior schedule, right? Especially if that's the town that they go to school in or whatever. That is the superior schedule. But then also knowing that,
I feel like I understand that really well. Yep. But where it kind of like buffers is the parenting styles of the custodial parent. It might not be all the way 100%, or it's not always agreeing on the other biological parent because the other biological parent has every right to have commentary on how the child's being raised too. Like,
no, 100%. So that's what I'm saying. Like as the biological mother, I have to be mindful that she is going to have a say-so in some of the things that go on with my son. Like she has a hand in raising him. She has every right to have an opinion, and that was something I even had to deal with internally. Like, her making little points, like, or saying certain things. Like I had to realize that it's not malicious, like, or take a moment and understand that it's not malicious. Like I always knew that, but it sting a little bit. Like your pride as a mother, it sting just a tiny bit. Somebody telling you like, or critiquing something that you're doing and you busting your butt. You feel like you smashing it.
Has your child's father? Sorry, I hate using the word baby daddy.
Yeah, I don't like that. Child's father, I hate that.
Well, we are censoring people's names. Okay?
I know. Sorry,
but for the sake of the show, child's father. But
yes.
Has your child's father ever critiqued you on your parenting styles?
That's so funny. Sorry.
Because I know that biological moms do, because I seen it happen. I see. Y'all know who y'all are.
Yep.
Have critiqued their child's father on their parenting skills quite a bit. So when it's vice versa, when they have something to say about you guys, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like, I have something to say about you, you can say something about me? Or it's like...
I do feel that way. I had a situation, or a conversation with my son's father where I had to let him know, like, don't bring up an issue that you have with me out of frustration for something that I'm saying to you. That, like, address the issue at hand. And if that's an issue that needs to be addressed, then we can address that. But let's
bring that shit up like a week or two later after that.
I'm okay with you even bringing it up right after we get through what the issue at hand is. But don't deflect and deter away. You know, that's immaturity, you know, and I know that you're better than that. So, like, if you have an issue, he's not, like I said, he's not really confrontational. He's confrontational.
But y'all be matching each other's energy.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, he's confrontational out of frustration. Like, you know what I mean? But he's the type of person that really takes things on the chin. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll just chill. But I had to get him comfortable with critiquing me. Like, that's my experience, where it's like I had to get him comfortable with being okay to express that he doesn't like something that I do.
Without you going off on him.
Without me going off on him, you know, and part of
how dare you have the chance to talk about me and my
not even, because one of his critiques is like the blow up. Like, and I had to even, I don't blow up a lot, but it's like when I do blow up, I kind of cut a little deep. And I don't let him get a word in. And sometimes it's hard. It was hard.
It'd be you and your fat mama.
Like, I'm going to make you rethink your life. Like, let's talk about how you uneducated and blah, blah, blah. Like, not saying that's him per se, but.
I was say Courtney.
No. But I am.
So mean.
Yeah, I am that type of person. Like, I'm going to make you rethink your life. Like, if you make me mad to where a point where I know in my soul that whatever is going on.
You better be lucky your baby daddy not a Capricorn. Oh, Jesus.
No, but like I will state facts that like are harsh that you like, because it's like I've been being nice and considerate and you know what I mean? So like if you want to go there, we could go there. You know, so I feel like, in his defense, I feel like he don't be wanting to go there with me. But also over the years, you know, he lost his mom and his brother within 4 months of each other. Mm. So during that time, I saw him grow up in a way that I've never seen him grow up. Mm-hmm. And I appreciated it because he's not going to leave, because the next guy would have left me. Like, it was like, I got too much going on and blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't be worried about no kid. Like, you know what I mean? The next person would have left me, but he didn't, you know? So that was important to see him grow and just be a part, like, make sure that I know he's there. And I think that's something that we had to work out, like as far as the critique, him being comfortable with critiquing me, with saying that I'm hey, you wrong, you need to chill out. You know,
and I want fathers to be more vocal,
respectfully, guys. Don't be calling them all types of bees and hoes and stuff. Respectfully.
Listen. Listen. I can only attest to what I've seen. What I have seen, and I'm like, what did you say? Before the B words started flying, because the conversation was real slow before all I heard.
You said something about his mama, like
I was playing, and then you going to make me feel bad talking about his mama died. Like, dang, girl.
Listen. No, I'm just saying, hypothetically, you said something about his mama, and then you wondering why he called you a B. I just called you out your name. Like, it's the same thing. Like, women and men alike, I think we have to be mindful of the words that come out of our mouths, especially when you're co-parenting, okay? Or parenting, period. Like, you have to be mindful of what's coming out of your mouth when you're dealing with a quote-unquote life partner, because when you have a kid with someone,
it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop once you pop the baby out.
Stops at 18.
Health insurance stops at 25. Like,
you still got health insurance. You still got the college fund when we first started.
Okay.
We still got graduations. We still got
prom weddings and all types of stuff.
Well, that's under the umbrella of the 18. I said beyond that. I'm like college.
Oh yeah,
graduation parties. wedding, bridal showers,
right?
Baby shower. Now we're grandparents at this point.
Right. Now we got to get stuff for the big grandbabies.
And now look at you, still having to see your baby mama to this day.
And y'all mad for 20 decade years, you know.
All I know is I don't want y'all to be like Rick Ross and Tia Kim, okay?
Oh, okay.
I don't want to see no back and forth with big backs. I don't want to see that.
Okay.
It's gonna be a new year, okay? I'm not talking about my situation.
Nah, you said Rick Ross. Like, I'm just saying. I was like, oh.
I'm like, nah, I'm just saying.
Like, oh.
We're, like, I'm about to be 30 in a month, but we are in our 30s.
Look at you. Like, just hitting it. Welcome.
Like, but in general, we are at an age where it shouldn't gotta be like that. Like, granted, that's why I be saying, like, listen,
that. Shouldn't gotta be. I love it.
It shouldn't gotta be like that.
I'm about to start saying that. Yes, it shouldn't gotta be like that.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, you guys fuck with each other at one point in time,
and we're grown.
We're grown.
Take accountability for your actions.
I wouldn't want to see my exes outside of necessary events either. But guess what? I had a baby by my ex, so now that we are here,
right,
we got to deal with this shit.
We're here, and it's easier to deal with the situation when you guys get along. And like, biggest thing, the attitude you bring to a situation is going to determine how much that situation stresses you out. So if you bring a positive attitude to the situation, and it's not every time you see this man, you gotta be angry. Like, you never want somebody to have that much control and power over you. So I encourage mothers who are still bothered by their child's father, by the stepfather, or whoever, you're dealing with, like, take that time to explore your own emotions.
Self-reflect.
Yes, self-reflect. Deal with whatever feelings you may have about this man. Accept that you guys may never be together again. 9 times out of 10, that is the case. But understand what is important and let you caring for that child be important. So then when whatever that man is doing, you're not fazed by it. He could be with another woman, get married, do whatever. You still are going to be doing what you have to do as a mom, and then give that opportunity to him and the new stepmother. Don't just automatically write him off, or write the woman off because you're still hurt about something that has nothing to do with her at that. She is here willing to love on your child, okay? The ones that care, okay? Is here willing.
Don't get mad at the innocent bystanders. Get mad at the people that overstep.
Right.
Get mad at that.
Exactly. And if they overstep, there's nothing wrong with respectfully correcting someone.
Overstepping.
Okay? For overstepping, you don't have to cuss them out. Like, I really want to promote women being okay and being cordial at a minimum, civil with the other woman. Right?
Also, this goes with the stepmothers too. Just because you with the not baby daddy, the child's father.
It's okay.
Does not mean you have to mindlessly be the cheerleader in the background while he doing bullshit to the baby mama. That makes you look crazy.
Right. And that's why I love that you said, I'm going to correct my stepson when he's disrespecting his mother. Because I do the same thing with my son. You have to respect her the same way you respect me, little dude. And if you're not, you're going to have to hear from daddy. Okay? So you don't want to hear.
And daddy don't be talking.
And daddy don't talk. Exactly.
So I suggest you talk to him. And that's how I say that to him too. I'm like, listen, I ain't going to touch you. I ain't going to. But guess
we have
what?
boys.
Who is?
We have boys. Girls are a little different, but we have boys, yeah.
I ain't going to touch you. But guess who is?
Daddy
that man over there. And he ain't going to be talking. So I suggest you talk to me.
Right. Because I'm like, listen, you want it to be me. Because even my dad, my dad was not in the household. Him and my mom were separated.
Yeah.
But even still, like, they separated. My mom won't even have a conversation with this man. And even still, I was in high school. And if she said, I'm telling your father, I was like, what? Like,
oh, God, not Big Papa coming up to the schoolhouse.
I was like, what? Wait, hold on. Like, don't do that. Like, It's okay. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, we jumped into the advice tip section of her.
yeah, sorry, advice.
But that was just the advice for mothers and stepmothers separately, because I feel like we needed to address that.
Yes.
And just so that we can get these tips in order for us to get along.
Have
We could talk shit about this dude
villages.
together.
Right. You know, we'll talk about the struggles. Like, yeah, we both have love for him. You in love with him. I love him. But, like, you know what I mean? I mean love platonically. Like,
I'm like, listen, I don't want him to be in the hospital. That's it.
I don't want him to be in the hospital. And at the end of the day, that is my son's father. Like, my child's father. I want him, and understanding that is what true unconditional love is being able to love someone even though you don't benefit from that relationship anymore. Even though the benefit is not for you, it's for somebody else, for the next woman and your child. You get no benefit from that but the happiness of your child. You know, and that's what should be important when it comes to co-parenting. It's a village. Nobody doing this by themselves, okay? And if you blessed to have a third parent, utilize them, okay?
Or a fourth parent.
Or a fourth parent, because
both
one day
biological
Jesus
parents
gonna
can move on. First of all,
send my husband.
Let's give out a prayer.
A moment
Dear
of silence.
please
receive
bless Courtney with not just a Christian man, but a man of God, Lord God. A man of God. So
okay, a man of God.
And just in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. I declare and decree it, okay? Listen, I'm silly, y'all, but I'm serious.
Puppy, she want a man of God.
I want a big dog. That's a man of God. That's right. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
We had to do a praise break real quick.
Praise break, yes. But yes.
Yeah.
So
just to round off everything, like, any other tips that you want to give to the crowd before we go on to like final thoughts and like a little funny story?
Yeah. So I think we hit a lot of great points. I think patience is definitely at the top of the list.
Learn how to spell it.
Right. Practicing. I can't, because it's a lot of patience and patience and patience. Like it's a lot. But yes, patience, being open-minded, with suggested things that might not seem like, you know what I mean, that might sting a little bit. Just being open-minded.
Get rid of your ego.
Yes.
Get rid of your emotions, because it's not about you, it's about the child.
Right. Take accountability, and I would say a big one is apologize. Women, we get crazy sometimes. Even as much as my son's father praises me as a mother, he absolutely knows that I get crazy sometimes. And
Courtney get turned, okay?
Sometimes I let my anger get the best of me. Not so much as much now, because he's 9 now. Like, but it's like, sometimes I do. I'm human, and I let my anger get the best of me. But he knows that I'm going to come back, and he won't respond. Pisses me off.
Oh Lord,
he won't respond, right? But it gives me that time to come back and be like, okay, I definitely cussed you out. That was not fair. First of all, we ain't gonna get nothing accomplished by me cussing you out. And then it's like, once I come to him with that calm, like, okay, I apologize. Right. I realized that what I said and how I said it, even if it was true, the tone that I took with you was not conducive and very disrespectful. So I have wholeheartedly have had several moments where I've had to come to him and be like, I apologize. I was out of pocket. Like, you know what I mean? But like, you know, let's sit down, like, let's have a civilized conversation.
But you have
about
the emotional
what
intelligence to recognize your faults, and that's okay, because we all
practicing emotional intelligence. If you don't know what emotional intelligence is, you can Google it, look it up, the definition,
or look up a therapist.
That's my next point.
Because it sounds like
if you need help practicing, there is group therapy, there is individual therapy that will help you. Help give you tools on how to be emotionally aware of the people around you, because it is important. It is important for your child to also be emotionally aware of mommy and daddy, stepmom, brother and sister. Like, it is important for humans in general to be emotionally aware. It affects your relationships with everybody. So Those are my tips. What about you as a stepmom?
As a stepmom, make sure when entering the relationship, please, if you do not care for the child and you care about the partner, then the child, exit the relationship. That's not fair for the child, and that's not fair for the man that's having to raise that child too. And the other biological parent, which is the mom. Because if you have any type of disdain for that child, you're going to take it out on them. And we're not doing that in 2024/2025. What else? Because at the end of the day, you have to have so much love for that child that the partner don't even matter at that point. Okay? The partner shouldn't even matter at that point, because it's not even a game at that point, because it's just like, dude, a child is in play, and if you know in your heart of hearts you're not into kids like that, don't date people with children.
Right.
Okay? It's going to be messy for everybody in this situation, and I wouldn't say know your place, but navigate your place in the co-parenting relationship. If you feel need to try to reach out to the biological mother, feel free to do that via your partner or on your own or via the child, however you want to do it. And however you guys want to establish a cordial relationship, that's on you guys, but it takes emotional intelligence. It takes both ways. It takes the stepmom and the mom together to make that work. So until both parties come to agreement in that regard, it's gonna be a little bit of friction in regards to that. So that's the advice that I have a little bit. What else? Shoot. Want to go to confessionals?
Okay, so
one question. What was the funniest thing one of the funniest things that you went through with your child as a mom?
Oh my God. Okay. I have a video.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Of me. This is probably the funniest thing, because this is when I was down south. I had the bright orange hair. It wasn't supposed to be.
I remember that.
It wasn't supposed to be orange. It wasn't supposed to be that bright. Mm-hmm. But when it came out, what could I do? So I had to, it's perfect and blend to my hair now. But I was down south and my son was just born. He wasn't even 2 yet. Didn't even start walking yet, because, he was small, little. But I was down south and we were on the bed. I had fed him and he was fine. He had nothing going on. He wasn't sick or anything. Mm-hmm. But I had fed him and I went to pick him up to burp him. And I barely touched his back, and he projectile vomited
on your back,
all over me. And I was just and I was in the bed, so it's all over the bed, all over the back of I had a video. There's a video, I swear.
Oh my God.
One of these days, I'm going to show y'all this video. But there's a video where
don't embarrass that baby.
I am freaking out because I got on this black shirt and some jeans. And I'm just in the mirror and I'm like, look what my baby did to me. Look what he did. And then I flip the camera and I'm like, look, it's not over. And you see me flip to the mirror, turn around. Yeah. You see my whole back is full of vomit.
Dang,
and I'm
not
just
to the back.
And I'm just
he's on the shoulder.
He just vomited all over me. And then I flashed to him and he's and I was and he's just sitting there. And I flashed the camera to him and he's just in the tub what? Oh my God, that is probably to this day the funniest thing that has happened to me, and I just was yeah, this is gonna be a roller coaster of life. After that, I was yeah, this is crazy.
I'm dang boy, you almost took me out.
Yeah, and I was
got the rest of our lives together.
I don't even understand how that much vomit came out of him. I was covered in vomit, and I was just what could you do but laugh? I couldn't do anything but laugh, cause
what can you do?
I'm just real calm and just it was bad. But yeah, that's a funny story about motherhood.
Well, my funny story with my stepson. This is a time where my stepson thought I was white. So there's the backstory. Okay. So this was a time where Black Panther 2 was coming out, and you know my son, he's beautiful and he's dark skinned, and he's just like he loves to take pride in the fact that he's black, and I love that for him. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
I don't have a child with identity issues. Thank you,
Amen.
Jesus. So he goes around the room. I'm at my partner's house, and he goes around the room like, see, because I'm black. I'm like, I can't wait for the Black Panther movie to come out because I'm black. My daddy's black, my mommy's black, my uncle's black, my brother's black, and you, Alexis, you're white. I said, it's like a record scratch in the living room. Skirt. What? Yes, all of you in the back, laughing in the background. Our producer's laughing in the back of the back. Legit. With conviction on his face too, you're white. I'm like, where did you come up with this conclusion?
Oh my God.
Like, where did you come up with that? It was like, well, my daddy's dark skinned, my mommy's dark skinned. Everybody that I know that's black is dark skinned, and then you're white. I'm just like,
and you're white.
I'm like, well, I'm here to let
you're white for me, not
and
white.
He's letting me know. He letting me know what it is. I'm Caucasian.
Oh,
and he's like, I mean, besides your hair, you're white. Like, I'm like, not the hair, Lord.
yo, I'm crying.
I'm like, well, sweetheart, I'm here to let you know that Alexis is black. And he was just like, what?
I lied to this baby.
What? What do you mean?
His whole life.
You mean to tell me this is a lie? I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out who told you that I was white. Like, I don't understand
I'm trying to figure that out. He just concluded in his mind.
Listen.
That you was white. He was
listen.
Kids, bro.
Listen.
That is hilarious.
And then he was just like so distraught. I was like, yeah, I had to break it down to him. Like, black people come in all shades, including shades like me. Number two, you met my mom and you met my dad. They're both black. He was just like, yeah, I met your mom and I met your dad, but your dad is white. I'm like, oh my God. I'm here to let you know, me and my father are both the same amount of black. Okay?
I'm crying.
And he was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm going to have to go to my room.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He needs to reevaluate life.
Yes. He was just like,
he going to be at school looking at people like, so
are you're
white? Black?
Mind you, he goes to a predominantly white school. So, like, I understand the plight when you're one of the only kids of color there.
Yo, that is wild.
But dang, bro, I'm here to let you know.
Just took your
if you see a little kid that kind of look like me, probably at least biracial. At least. Like,
not white. Like,
not white.
Straight bold white.
He said, nah, Caucasian.
That
I said,
hilarious.
Whoa. Okay. We're gonna teach you new things here, sir. And he learned something new. He was like, wow, my mind is blown. I'm gonna have to go to my room. I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, I'll check up on you before you go to bed.
That is hilarious. Yo.
The joys of motherhood, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, motherhood is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of ups and downs. But the ups definitely outweigh the downs. Yes.
And I'm glad that we are here to talk to you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Please see us next time for Girl Code. We will be out next month, I think.
We'll tell you guys the schedule soon. Don't worry. This is a new venture, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.